I'm so excited to share the final piece that is for me, part of that book writing journey, because here's the thing, you've done the work. You've done lots of incredible work over, even if you've been following the steps, you would have created something that really is beautiful. So how do we now leverage that? Firstly, in your business as an asset to really position you as the expert that you are, but also to ensure that, the most people as possible see it. So one thing for me that I just love to do as a business mentor, because I'm not a salesperson. I always say that I'm not a salesperson. I'm not some, and not that there's anything wrong with sales. Obviously, I'm a money mindset mentor, so I feel very powerfully in the exchange of money and all of the things and service. But I don't consider myself a salesperson. I consider myself as somebody who serves others with solutions. And one way that I like to kind of get round that is essentially taking people on the journey of whatever I'm creating, whatever I'm doing, so that they can feel part of that process. So that when it comes to so like this book series, if you've come to day 5, I'm not going to do a whole big pitch with a presentation and like benefits, da da da. But what I have let you know all the way through, very naturally, very organically, is that if you are interested in what it is that I have done and will continue to do as I move into 2024, I've just given you the next steps in a very authentic way, as if I was talking to a friend, because that's really all it needs to be. I'm offering you a solution, and if you're like, no, thank you, that's okay. I don't want to continue the journey with you. I'm happy to do it alone. Absolutely. Hopefully you've got some value from this live series that is going to help you in that process. If not, and you're realizing actually there's a lot more to it than I thought, and I'd actually really love some support and community and accountability on that journey, then the next natural step is to work with myself and Lisa inside this group coaching program, because you will not find anything else like this on the market at this price point. And let me tell you, I can say that hand on heart. I know that for certain, because when I wanted to write a book, I'm a perfectionist at heart. I wanted to do everything the right way, and I wanted to follow the right steps. And equally, when I've been working with clients, so the first thing I did was look at like, right, okay, who can help me with that process? What mentorship, what programs, what people do I need to invest in that can help me to share with me the things that I don't know? And what alarmed me was that this is a big industry that makes absolutely like thousands, millions of pounds. And the coaches and mentors that I was looking to work with on a one-to-one were like 5 figures, over £10,000. To even invest in group programs, which I did, it cost me over £3,000, as well as other little bits that I then had to invest in on the process. Now, I know that you can do this for free, pretty much, but is it going to be as fun? Is it going to be as your most potent, activating, creative work when you're left doing it by yourself? Or is it going to be one of those things that just sits on your to-do list forever, like I did for the first 2 years? Before I invested in my first program, and I was like, oh shit, I better do the thing now, because I've put money to it. And now I've said to the universe, I'm ready and I want to do the thing. That's when I really got skin in the game and got invested into actually finishing that project. And then equally, I made myself accountable by creating this book club. I was very audacious, and I told everybody very publicly. So again, I had like emotional skin in the game, because nobody wants to go back and say, oh yeah, by the way, that thing that I said I was going to do, I'm not doing. I've never been that girl. If I say I'm going to do something, I will do it. Absolutely. And that's another way of like pushing me out of my comfort zone. So I was very public in the declaration that this book is going to be ready by the end of the year. But also what I did was took my audience on the journey with me. So then when it came to, ta-da, I've done this thing, even though Amazon kind of mucked up my official launch and probably compromised my opportunity to get a bestseller status, because they kind of inadvertently were like, there you go, it's up. I was like, I had a moment where I was like, right, what do I do? Because I wanted the Amazon bestseller status. I know how to get one of those. I've done it for my clients, and I've done it for other peers and people that I know. I understand the process of achieving that bestseller status on Amazon. And that comes from having an audience and a community ready to buy all at the same time. You have to be very strategic with the categories that you use on Amazon, and it takes a village, like anything in life, whether that's raising kids, whether that's launching a podcast or a group program or a new offer. You need to have people behind it to really get energy behind selling that thing and giving it its best chance of success. So for me, obviously I didn't necessarily have that, because my official book launch party is going to be the 5th of December. So if anybody is interested in joining me, it's in North London. It's going to be a beautiful CEO Christmas brunch as part of my business matchmaking networking group, the Little Red Book Society. But equally, as part of that, is going to be my book launch also. So there's going to be like some champagne and some fun and definitely sparkles, and just kind of taking a moment to acknowledge and celebrate the journey that I've been on in writing this book. And that's maybe something that you want to consider. The intention would have been the big reveal, and now you can go and purchase your copy of the book, because people are invested at that point in not only my journey, because I've been documenting it throughout the year and really transparent with the mindset shifts and things that I needed to have, even just going to LA at the beginning of my book writing journey. You know, what better way to be in integrity with what you're teaching then, and really tap into those feelings of abundance, than being in Beverly Hills while you're writing it, surrounded by high net worth women and other powerhouse business owners that I could then also tap into for insights. I did a really great podcast series actually on this, like conversations in LA with 7 and 8 figure mentors. You can head back to my podcast and listen to that. So yeah, so the whole book writing process was just a super fun journey. So one thing that I did very well, I think, is documenting that journey, so that when actually Amazon did release my book, I had an influx of sales, because people were kind of eagerly anticipating and waiting for it. I built a bit of curiosity with the cover art and, you know, just kind of documenting the journey. I had also encouraged people to pre-sell. So all of the people that bought the book before it was ready, not only did that keep me accountable, but also enabled me to invest in things that I needed along the way. Because obviously as an entrepreneur, I very rarely pay for anything up front. I will always have it paid for first and then go away and do the thing. That was the same with my book. And I believe that that's a good mindset shift to have as an entrepreneur, you know, not to keep continually just investing in the hope that at some point you will make money. It's saying I'm ready to receive money now. So that was one thing that I did, but also it meant that for all of those women that are pre-sold, I got to, you know, sign the copies of their book. I sent them a little gift and just made it a whole moment when they received it, and just getting their feedback has been lovely on that. And that's just my personality, you know, I am that person. I like to be thoughtful and send little gifts and all of the things. So that felt really nice that I'd had pre-sales, but again kept me accountable to doing the damn thing. Then I also have the book launch event. I've also been nurturing my email list so that, again, I can get those influxes of sales. I've updated all my sales pages so people can see now in my bio I'm an author, and obviously, you know, if and when I do get that Amazon bestseller status, I'll be updating that. It will be in my bio, in like my bio that I send out to press and PR opportunities, and just really ensuring that I leverage it as the asset that it is for the business and as the credibility building tool that it is too. So a lot of the time I see women that either jump in on collaboration books where it's like just essentially writing a chapter and putting your name to something to get a bestseller status. There's an element of, because they know that they didn't do the work and they haven't gone through all of the process, an element of like, yeah, I just kind of did the thing, and they're not really acknowledging the incredible journey that it would have been even just to write that chapter. So, and then they don't really leverage it with the same amount of energy as something that they have literally birthed from concept, gone all in, backed themselves, written from scratch, and then launched by themselves. Like, it's very exposing to do that sort of work, and you know, you need support and accountability along that journey, because if you launch it to crickets, then not only is that a real shame, because I'm sure that your book will be amazing and somebody needs to hear it, but it's also really undermining the potential of what is available to you. So, you know, there is an element of masculine strategy that needs to come into launching a book and then leveraging it to really get it working for you. So it's all of the things that I've mentioned so far, but also, you know, you can have strategic launch pods, which is something that we're going to be including as part of the Manifest Your Book, Your Bestseller program next year, so that you're not just kind of like left there. We're all going to be behind you and supporting and buying and shouting about it and promoting so that you get that bestseller status. But also, it's your opportunity to be the gift that keeps on giving. So, obviously, one thing I did was create this incredible opportunity by application to go and work with Fox News and be interviewed as a woman of influence. So that again, I could give that book another great boost when the interview is aired in January, I think. Obviously, it was recorded at the time, but it won't be run live until January. You best believe I'll be doing a lot of work around promoting it then to really, again, leverage that. I've updated, as I said, all of my bios. So one thing you could also do is start to be quite proactive in reaching out to press and letting them know what you're doing. You can arrange like collaborations with other people's guest expert sessions where you can talk about elements of your book. You could run parts of your book as a mini masterclass and, gift people copies of your books. I've also offered copies of my books to other women in business networking groups for their own events. I've got other coaches that have bought it for their clients because I don't cover elements of what they cover, and money mindset is something that is very universal. I've had people that have bought it for gifts for other people, and essentially it will continue to be that gift that keeps on giving for me in my business because I'm obsessed with it. So it will be a firm feature within my funnels. I've got my book resources section, which is also building my list. So I've had people that have bought the book on Amazon that have now signed up to get the resources, the additional resources from my website. And there's just so many things that you can do. And these are just the things that are coming to me off the top of my head. I am sure that there will be even more innovative ways to continue to leverage that book as I move forwards. But like I said, the launch was a bit of on the back foot. So I'm still kind of, catching up from LA and from Florida. And, I've got the book launch event that I'm preparing for also. But yeah, so what is that for you? I just want to encourage you as a takeaway from today's episode to really start thinking bigger when it comes to your book, beyond the actual book sales, as to how you can, allow this to continue to be a steady revenue stream for you, as opposed to I made a few sales at the launch and that's that. How do we make it the gift that keeps on giving? How do we leverage it as that asset, as for you as an expert now in your area? Certainly having author on your title gives you a complete different level of credibility. So it's for you to, I always say to my clients, like, ride that pony all the way home. And I want that for you. So if you are not sure what that is, maybe you even have a book and you want to leverage it further, then you can absolutely come inside this community and we will support you with that as part of the program. So I hope you've enjoyed this series. Let me know if you're watching back on the replay and some of your takeaways. That would be amazing, because I absolutely love this feedback. And also if you've got any suggestions for anything that you want me to cover in the next live series. So I've already done my my journey to 10K months, and now my journey to writing my book. If there is anything else that you would love, please let me know. Otherwise, I will think of something and come back next week. But I hope you have a fantastic weekend, ladies. I'm not sure when you're watching this. I think my email list are getting it on Sunday. And I'm going to pop the link once again, or even just let me know in the comments, actually, because I'm doing the sales page later. So I'll drop that in for the Manifest Your Book program that's going to be starting next year.